It's the midst of World War I, between the Central Powers and the Entente. It's been 2 years since the war had started, and both sides had started to get bogged down in trench warfare. And with both sides were looking for new fronts to start, the Entente found Romania to join them. But not 21 years later, we see Romania join the Axis to fight against the Allies and Russia. Well, today, we will explore why Romania fought for the Entente in World War I, switched to the Axis in World War II, and how they performed in both. The Romanians entered on August 27, 1916, when they declared war on Austria-Hungary. And one of the biggest reasons for Romania to enter the war on the side of the Allies was motivated primarily by the desire to claim the region of Transylvania with its majority ethnic Romanian population. Following the declaration of war, the Romanian army immediately launched a major counteroffensive across the Carpathian Mountains into Transylvania. This attack caught the Austro-Hungarian forces by surprise, and they enjoyed some early successes. But the response of the Central Powers was swift and deadly. In October 1916, a combined invasion force of Austro-Hungarian, German, Bulgarian, and Ottoman troops invaded Romania, overrunning most of the country within 2 months. The Romanian army was forced to retreat to eastern Moldova, where it could shelter behind the natural defensive lines offered by the Sirith River and the Danube Delta, and link up with the Russians. The Romanian government left Bucharest before the Germans captured it and moved to the city of Isa on the Russian border. For the next year, the Romanians held on grimly to their small territorial enclave. They rebuilt their army with the help from the Allies, especially the French, and the Romanians supported the Russian army as best they could, even defeating a number of Austro-Hungarian and German attempts to break through their sector of the front. The situation changed dramatically, though, with the Russian Revolution in November of 1917. The decision of the Bolshevik regime to withdraw Russia from the war left the Romanian government in Moldavia in a dangerously isolated position. No longer able to count on the Russian support and surrounded by the armies of the Central Powers, the Romanians had little choice but to surrender to Germans and Austrian demands to surrender. After dragging out negotiations for as long as possible, the Romanians signed the Treaty of Bucharest on May 7, 1918. This breached their agreements as one of the Allies not to sign a separate peace with the enemy. But the terrible situation faced by the Romanian government after November of 1917 meant that their decision was viewed sympathetically by their former allies, who could no longer practically offer aid to Romania if they kept fighting. On November 10, 1918, Romania announced that it had unilaterally abrogated the Treaty of Bucharest and re-entered the war. The Romanian army quickly broke out of its enclave in Moldavia, liberating the rest of the country, and then advancing into the areas of Austro-Hungary to which Romania laid claim. This later led to confrontation and fighting with the revolutionary Bolshevik regime of Bela Kun in Hungary throughout 1919. We now look into World War II, with Romania signing into the Tripartite Pact. Romania joined the Axis primarily as a defense against the Soviet Union and to help preserve their own territorial integrity. The Romanian foreign minister prior to 1936, many by the name of Nicolae, had actually sought to align Romania with France and the Soviet Union against Germany and a resurgent Hungary who had been pressing their territorial claims in Transylvania. While the pact with the Soviet Union was successfully signed, many in Romania were apprehensive about Soviet ambitions in Bessarabia and Bukovina, parts of northern Romania that would later be given to the Soviets via the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Nicolae was eventually dismissed in late 1936 by King Carl II of Romania because he, like many others, shared reservations about aligning with the Soviet Union. After joining the Axis, they helped the Germans invade the Soviet Union in 1941, which went extremely well during the first parts of the invasion. But after the Germans stalled out outside of Moscow and the defeat of the 6th Army at Stalingrad, we see the collapse of the Germans and their allies. The Romanians were eventually defeated and put under the harsh rule of the Soviet Union.